Ah, click 2 times. Bad news. Bad news for us. Still think I'm just gonna have to jump. Yes. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is holyjtiburon. If you don't know who I am, I'm an Italian professional poker player. I play cash games up to 1k NL here in Italy on PokerStars. In this series, I'm trying to turn $50 into $10,000 in a poker challenge. We started at 2NL and now we're still playing 2NL, but we have around $82 in the bankroll. So without further ado, let's dive right into the action. So to win a couple of stacks today, because if we do win a couple of stacks, I think with a rake back, we are around 82. We need to open the chests, but I have bigger chests, so I'm not able to calculate properly the rake back, but it should be around 10% at this level, 10, 12, I don't know. So it's around €1 in rake back, so 82 in the bankroll. Hopefully we win a couple of stacks today and we get to play 5NL. That would be awesome. Already a limp spot. Just gonna check back here. Could have ISO raise pre-flop. Decided to take my check back. Fine. Ace 3 here. Just go for a very tiny bet. I open pre-flop even though it's not an open in theory. Both player calls. Now the option is to bet on the turn, then check the river, or just check turn and decide on the river. Ace 3, just wanna go for the call. And lose to 2 pair. Here I decide to click 4-bet this ace jack. I think it was very weak with the kind of raise. Unfortunately, I probably made the small sides. Should have gone bigger. It's fine. They both called. Now the board is not that great. I think I will check back. And both player checks very fast. I think we might even bluff in this situation on the river if we get the chance to. Okay, we make top pair. Snap bot, man. I think it's a very under bluff situation. Although 2NL, they might show up with random stuff. That's why I call. Yes. Ace 9. It's very unlikely that he's bluffing, but they have random thresholds for value, so I think it's still a fine call for me. With the ace king here, I will just make a bomb on flop. I think if they have an ace, they will not fold an ace. So it's very important for me to take the max value right away when I can. And turn is a break. It goes all in. We're fine with it. Get ace king. Wow. That's crazy. Why would you play ace king in this way? We chop. Still okay. Jack 10, I'm gonna check. And we make trips, which is very good. I will just raise this bet. I don't think it's relevant that I have 2 players behind. I think I want to target an ace and maybe a lower 10. Don't think I will slow play this hand and just call. Doesn't make a lot of sense at 2NL. This is not great since now we're chopping with hand like 10-9 or stuff like that. So I'm going to target an ace. Just go very tiny on the river. Get deuces. What the hell? That's not great. Not great at all. Lose this one. We even lost the minimum, I guess. Pocket jacks here. Very short stacked. Can jam. Can big bet. I think big bet works better than jamming, even though it doesn't change a lot. Yeah, now just jam on the turn against both players. And he calls with 8-5. Nice. Win this one. Not an amazing call with 8-5. Here with ace king we have 3x open, cold call. Think we're gonna either squeeze a lot or just jam. I think squeeze a lot works better, and they might call with hands like ace jack suited, ace 10 suited. They are in position, but the SPR is already low, so here 10-8-4. Not a lot of pocket pairs I think in his range. I think I will go for a small bet. I think it works alright. Still gonna call with a weaker hand a bunch of times, and he just raises 71 big blinds. Yeah, I think I will let this one go. 71 big blinds. Although he's wrapping a very tiny amount of hands. Full pot here with jacks. I think it's completely fine. Want to play for stacks right away. This scenario. Here, I think I will just fast play and go all in, even though it's not great. The diamonds still want to go ahead against a 10x. But luckily, we managed to make a flush, even though the guy had a straight. That's very good. Wow. We have a 4x open, a 3-bet to 15 big blinds, a cold 4-bet, and a jam. I think pocket jack's just gonna have to fold this. Let's take a look at the showdown. Aces and ace king, so made the right choice. Here with pocket tens, we ISO raise. Face a jam, we call. Yes, jacks. Wow. And a 10 on the turn. So, wow. Amazing run so far with runouts. Not so amazing with coolers. Yeah, winning around 2 euro. One more stack, and we're fine to go to the next level. That will be 5NL. Hopefully in this session. I think 5NL is gonna be way more interesting since we can play some zoom too. Ace jack can go for a small bet. I think it's just the best, especially against this guy. Looks very passive. Yeah, I can go for the second barrel small. I know it's kind of thin, but I think he will overcall some random stuff. Now just check, and hopefully we win a showdown. Yet 3 deuce, which is fine. Not a lot of players. Okay, I think we need to play heads up. I will open any 2 cards against this guy. Like, I have a good amount of skill edge, and this guy looks very passive, so I'm gonna play any 2 cards. Just gonna check the 9 against the fast check. Just always value bet in my hand. Could have gone bigger too. He has a flush. This guy is amazing. Did not raise a flush. So after a very passive line, we checked all the way. I decided to bet the 8 high straight, but we face a raise. I think this is one of the few scenarios when you just have to fold and don't ask a lot of questions. They just tap the nuts all the time in these kind of situations. Heads up, still continuing the aggression against this guy, but this time we have trips. Gonna continue. Always bet yourself. Like, this guy is never gonna bluff you. If you see a player that is very passive, you just need to bet your value hands. Like, it's not gonna bet for you. Just gonna go for the small bet all the time. Good second barrel here. Like, not in theory, but against these kind of players. So I'll try and go and do that. Since he's very passive, I think he's gonna raise my bet, and I can try to extract the max value in my hand and then check back on the river. Here in a 6 max table, a lot of players in the spot. I open from under the gun. Just gonna go for a big bet. I think it's completely alright. They have a lot of single pair hands and draws. And I think ace jack, I just want to bet now and probably just check all the way through. Now I will check the ace jack. Here against the recreational player, just gonna go for the call with the ace jack. Whereas a king doesn't change a lot. It doesn't have a lot of spades, in my opinion. Yeah, always calling ace jack. If he has 2 pair, he has 2 pair, that's fine. He has ace 6, so he was value betting a worse hand than mine. And I'm gonna check. And no need to always bet your gut shots and open-ender heads up. Since we made it straight, let's just go pot. I think we're representing very polarized range. Either we have a straight with a 5, or maybe a set or 2 pair. Make another trips here. Spot. Go for donk bet. Especially on ace high boards, I love to donk bet this kind of stuff. Yeah, just gonna continue for a triple barrel here. Never gonna slow play. If they have an ace, they're gonna have an hard time. And just gonna go for the triple barrel. Calls, we win. So we managed to get called there with flush against the trips. So I decided to go for a small bet. He calls. Turn we continue. He calls. A river we overbet, and he calls with trips. So he could have folded the turn, decided to call, then made the trips, which made us a lot of money. 3-bet pot, these kind of spots in heads up, usually you want to go very big or check. Against the 2NL player, I really don't know how to adapt unless I see some hands, so I will just check my hand. I think it's fine to check. Fine, yeah, I will face too many stabs in this occasion. I think I will just fast play this hand and just ship it in. I think if he has something, that's fine. Still gonna have a bunch of equity, so I will go for it. He has jack 4 for a flush draw and a pair. That's unlucky. And he wins both of them. Still, in a heads up, you need to pay a lot of attention to this kind of stuff because they can basically bet any 2 cards in this kind of situation. And when they do, there's not a lot they can do when they face a jam. They either call and gamble or they just fold. And yeah, I think it's a fine play. Pocket 7s here. I think once we bet, he calls, turn check check. I think we just need to call, even though it kind of sucks. We just need to call. Yes, queen 6, so very interesting float on the flop without the backdoor. Here, I just forgot that I'm not heads up. Not a very good bet on the turn here with the ace 10. Yeah, I deserve this. I just turn off the brain. Let's just fold. I think click raises not what you want to see. Was thinking about the other hand, got distracted. Also, I'm speaking to you while I'm playing. That is not that easy, especially for me that I don't speak English as my primary language. Here, don't want to raise against the recreational here. Just try and hit. Maybe going aggro on the check line. If it goes check, then maybe we can try this. Wow, 2 big blinds. Looks like he's asking for trouble. Do we want to give him trouble or not? Yeah, I think let's just give him trouble. Let's go close to 20 bigs. The ace is not great. Still, I'm gonna jam. It's fine. Gonna make him fold some flushes. He might overcall with hands with something like 9-8, 10-9. Yeah, king 10, stuff like that. And he just calls me down with pocket jacks. I'm such an idiot to bluff these guys. Yeah, now I'm tilted. When they do this kind of plays, like when I do this kind of plays, I need to know that they just call me down. That's very annoying. Call, just bets 2 big blinds, then continues to go for 2 big blinds. This is very weak. Like for recreational players, when they do the same size on a Broadway board, like you make 2 big blinds, then 2 big blinds, I'm 100% sure it never has ace king aces, king 9, 10-8 or stuff like that. So when you do know that they are capped, you basically can go crazy even with some random bluff like this one, which is not even that random. I mean, we have an open ender, and I decided to go for a big raise. He called, and the river's an ace. I probably waited too much with my timing, but I don't think it makes a lot of difference. It was just like, okay, whatever, I have jacks, I want to call you down. And that's why you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff, especially at low stakes. Higher stakes, recreational players are able to find some folds when they cap themselves. But in this kind of stakes, I mean, the mistake was mine. It's got like, how much is this? 50 cents behind. I mean, it makes sense that he overcalls. It's very different when the bet is like 500 euros, you know? Even 50 euros, there's a lot of difference. But it's fine. We'll go forward. Just forget the mistake. Sometimes it happens. Multi-way. Ace 10 offsuit. Just gonna go for small bet. Calls. Run out this flush completing. Don't think this flush changes a lot. Can go for a check back or a bet. I think it doesn't make a lot of difference. These stakes, I would like to bet. I think he has more hands that want to call on the turn and fold on the river than the opposite. And probably gonna have to jam. Like, these players tend to overcall. So I think I will just go for it. Yeah, he has 2 pair. That's fine. I think it's a value bet here. If he always calls with ace 9, ace 8, ace 7, ace deuce, king jack off with the heart, like stuff like that, I think it's just always a value bet. Pretty interesting spot. We have a set here with pocket tens, check, wow, all in and a call. Just gonna put all the money in. Pretty sure we have the best hand, kings and king 5. We're bricks, nice. Managed to win this one, luckily. Take a look at the pre-flop, because I actually do not remember the pre-flop. So the guy limped with kings. I decided to ISO raise, 2 calls. I of course check the top set. You can bet too, but when you have such a strong equity and they are short stacked, you can easily check. We check, put all in, he calls, and we stack off. 5-4, we can just call or raise. I think everything was alright. Let's just go for a raise. Very depolarized raise, so we can get called from behind. We still have a 5 in our improving range. Like 5 comes down, we make trips. Flush comes down, we make flush. So it's fine sometimes to raise this kind of middling hands that have additional equity. Checks back and the 5 comes down. So you probably not expect us to have a 5 a lot of times, but I think he never has a good hand. Probably never has a good hand. Unless he has specifically like ace 5, king 5. I don't think he has a lot of good hands. So I will just go 13 big blinds. And he folds. Here, 5 big blinds. I think I will call. Doesn't wrap a lot of stuff. Nice. Yes, queen 9. Let me take a look at this one again. I open, he calls. I went for a small bet for range, so usually tend to do this at lower stakes when usually people tend to be straightforward with their hand. So I don't think he has ever a good 8 or a good 7. Like he can have a 7, but not a lot of ace 8, king 8. I think he would have considered raising. He called pretty fast. So I check. He goes for a very tiny bet. Is representing maybe an 8, something like 8 9, 10 8. Usually recreational players are not that thin with their value bet, so I decide to just call. Of course I still have a gut shot and I think I'm ahead of his bluffing range. Then the river comes at 10, I check and he goes for 5 big blinds. Again, it's probably representing something like an 8 or a 10 hit on the river. I just don't believe that recreational players are able to make this kind of sizings and stuff. I just think he's very weak. He's gonna have some random hands in his range. Decide to call and he showed up with queen 9. It's actually a decent bluff for the spot. Here with the bottom set, decide to go for a check on the flop. Now we face 5 big blinds. I think I'll raise though. Get a call from behind. Yeah, just go all in, not overthink it. He folds. By the way guys, if you're enjoying the content so far, like and subscribe, it will really mean the world to me. Now back to the video. The bet pot, got ace queen for this jack 8-5, he checks. I don't think he has a lot of strong hands that wants to go for a check raise. Usually they bet themselves, so I will bet my hand. Basically, I pay 5 big blinds and I usually get to the river, so now he's gonna probably pure check. And I'm gonna check back. So I always realize my equity with ace queen, and sometimes it's even a value bet, like you can call something like king queen. I check back, we make a flush. Nice. Hopefully now he goes all in or just puts money into the pot. It goes 15, gonna go all in. I think he's bluffing, by the way, but still need to go all in when you have a flush. Calls with jacks. Wow, that's one of these hands that can check on the flop. Usually you don't see check with aces or kings, stuff like that. Like it's a pretty good check on the flop. He got unlucky on the river. Pocket tens, I mean, again, it's a situation where I just think he's under bluffing a lot, so I will just call. I think he's got such a strong range. Wow, we make a set. Pocket tens again. It's not the first time in this session. It's a 3 big blinds we call. No need to raise. Okay, I'm pretty sure now he has absolutely nothing, or he has kings like before, and we face 4 big blinds. Now, not a lot of gut shots and stuff going on. I will just raise. I don't think this guy has a lot, and this guy, it's very weak with the sizing, but I just don't want to let him realize with such a small size. Yeah, unfortunately folds, but I want to play for stacks with this kind of combo. Yeah, I'll just move all in here against 7. Not overthinking. And wow, aces. That's unlucky. Ooh, queen. Nice. We win this one. Very lucky at showdowns today. We ran pretty bad in terms of showdown. Like we won every time when we were behind, but we were always behind, which is not that great. Here with the nut flush draw, just gonna go over bet. They always going to be calling random flush, so let's go for it. He calls. Take a look what he had. He had 8s. With the flush draw, gonna go over bet here. Calls. Yeah, I'll over bet again my hand. Don't think I'm getting jammed on a lot, so I don't think there's a problem by burning my equity. So I'll go for it. Quickly folds. Here I will just start with the small bet and then he calls. Kind of fast call. I think here I want to generate enough full equity. I will go over bet. Very hard for him to defend correctly here with this weak range. Yeah, but face a raise and I so want to jam. It's very hard for him to have a strong hand, but still I will be disciplined and fold. Usually check raises lines in single raise spot against recreationals are heavily under bluffed, so I will not overthink it and just fold. Flop the gut shot. Check on flop. Gonna bet the turn and bet the river. Yep. Gonna always bet. Fold. Here, queen 10, I'm just gonna raise after another one big blind call. It's very thin. I think it works. Went for the check raise with 10-9. Run out flush completing. Definitely gonna check. Now, river is the 6. We make a straight. I think I will go for a 17 to fold. If they jam, I will just fold. Yeah, that's so annoying, man. That's so annoying. Might have the same hand, but I think I will just call the same hand. I think it's just got a flush, man. I fold. Both had a flush. What the hell? What the hell? It's so unlucky. Isolate king 10. We have a 10-3 deuce. Just go small, very small. Very blankish board. No need to go that big. Face a very fast check raise. Not going anywhere with king 10. And I'm just letting the guy bluff if he has a bluff. Turn is an ace. Which kind of sucks for him because I can have ace king, ace queen, and just bet call them. Of course he's gonna check, and I'm gonna go very small. Let's just go 9 big blinds. He's polarized, so I think it's fine for me to go very small. Calls, and the river is a king. I think if he had deuces or threes, yeah, I think he would have donked or check raised. So on this river, I think I have enough to jam. Might have ace 4, ace 5. Might have ace 10 too. It's kind of close, man. I will go for it. At 2NL, I will go for it. Okay, I think we're good. Don't think it's 10 calling ace 10. It's very close. Very close. Yeah, I'm just gonna call on the turn. I guess the second time he plays this kind of line. Pretty sure my hand is still a fine call. King 10 gets there. Half pot, I'm never gonna fold. Like if he jammed, I was going to fold. Half pot, I'm never gonna fold. That's 5s. That's fine. I would have folded against the jam, but this half pot just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And usually when you see half pot against recreationals, you can be quite sure that they're probably doing something crazy. And yeah, that's why I always call against half pots in this spot. Like, he could show up with jack 10 off, for example. I would not be that surprised at 2NL. But of course he has a set because we're running like shit. Okay, here we have a combo draw. Just gonna call here. Wow, yes, king 6 for a better combo draw. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, we won this one, but it's another time that we went for a very terrible equity in all-in. That's not great. That's not great. Here, 8-7, could call, could raise. Let's just go for a raise. One big blind. Now we check on the turn. Straight gets there. Another straight gets there. I think just value bet here. Going intermediate. Let's go 6.5. Calls. We win. Lucky us. Let's see what he had. King 7. We have another set with pocket tens. This is like the third time today. Let's just go for a small bet. That's very interesting. It's the third set we make with pocket tens. Unfortunately, the straight gets there. I'm just gonna have to check back. And I guess the check, I will go for a value bet. Don't think he has a jack ever. He checks. He folds, which is fine. Another click 3 bet from this guy. This time we have a cold call too. I'm gonna go 25 bigs, very big sizing. And we face a click again. And a call. Click 2 times. That's very bad. Bad news. Bad news for us. Still think I'm just gonna have to jam. This guy basically 3 betted every hand. So I'm just gonna go for it. And yes, king 10 off. And 10-8. What the hell? Hold please. Nice. Finally. What the hell is this? King 10 off and 10-8. That's very nice. I think we are out of the 2NL trap. Let's see. Let's take a look. We are losing in EB today. We're losing in EB. Yeah, we are officially 5NL though. I think I will play some hands at 5NL though before closing the session. This is the graph 2NL. Of course, not the best one. Like, I want to see EV big blinds per 100 is around 29. Could have made a lot more. I don't think I ran particularly well. Yeah, we managed to win 35 euros at 2L. Let's go up to 5L. Gonna play some hands, and then I will just close the session since I played already for like an hour and a half. Let's jump into the 5L adventure. I'm just gonna play a couple of hands so that we can start our 5NL experience. I'm gonna play some Zoom, of course. I've had enough normal tables. Just gonna play some Zoom, and we make a straight. Very first hand. Yeah, let's just go for big blinds. Don't think I'm getting called a lot here. Nice. Start with a W already. First spot. Okay. Blind versus blind. And 3. Just gonna continue here. The gameplay doesn't change a lot between 5NL and 2NL, so just gonna play very similar poker. Call again. Let's go to showdown here. Yeah, we chop. Make a top pair. And we face a jam. Wow. Okay, we need to call. And I will hand the session here. Like, this hand should be fun enough to watch. Don't want to slow roll the guy. Just gonna call. Think we're ahead. Wow, king queen. No, that sucks. We lose first big pot at 5NL. And I think that's okay for today. We managed to go all the way up to 5NL from 2NL. So we closed the session with 2 euros and 50 cents in profit. Unfortunately, we should have lost 2 euros, around 2 euros. But we're finally at 5NL. So we managed to win 2 euros and 50 and got to 5NL. Fortunately, we should have lost 2 euros, but it's fine. We take the W. Hey guys, that was it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.